Had some people messaging saying what's going on with the Impala. Other than it's getting dusty sitting here, it's been winter in Ohio, so I really haven't really worked on it, been motivated to work on it, but at the same time, it's getting nice out today. It's like 60 out in the middle of February, which is totally crazy. But I have like 3 things I need to do to it before it's ready to be fully driven finally, even though it's been like 2 years in the making. Let me show you here what's planned and sort of what is next. And one of them's a pretty big project that I'm real excited to do in sort of like a multi-part series. So up here under the hood, I'm still dealing with the whole throttle body and throttle position sensor. Very small little thing, but at the same time I just need some a minute to work on that. I just haven't had it. But one of the things I am going to get going here, and I'm looking for these, so if you have one and you want to get rid of it, let me know for a reasonable price. I'm looking for 4 of these, all the doors. I just found a right rear in like a brown. I don't care what color they are. The reason is I'm going to send them off to the dude on the Impala group that's covering them in leather, so that way we'll kind of have that going. I'm also going to send the center console lid as well, just because I think it'll give it a nice little touch there, little detail upgrade type thing. My parts pile is kind of growing here, and I'm going to explain what everything is here. Right down there, if you can see that, those are vinyl black stripes. I'm going to be blacking out all the chrome around the car. So I think that'll be a nice little clean thing to do. And I'm pretty excited about that, actually. That's like, you just got to wait for the weather to be kind of warm, but it's going to be all, this will be blacked out. And I was very, like, I don't want to say skeptical, but sort of like on the fence on how to do it. So this, I think, will be a nice non-permanent thing, but at the same time it'll look really neat. I'm going to explain this in a second. Under there, though, you can see this is the whole fuel pump hot wire kit from Racetronics. That's going in there, but I got to drain the fuel tank out. It's full of gas right now. And then over there is a new to me binnacle for the gauge surround. My plan is in here to get a, and I'm thinking maybe over on the passenger side, not sure, but I'm going to put a gauge in there, like an Aeroforce Interceptor or something along those lines. All right, on to the big news here. If you're familiar with this car, my project, what I've been doing here, when I first got it, one of the first things I did was I tore the dash apart to do the gauge fix. I put some LEDs back here. And then the other big thing I did was I got this radio from One Factory Radio. It's got the Bluetooth. And there's a video on my channel about this whole thing. It's very cool, but at the same time, I'm going to do the big upgrade here. And let me show you what I got. Okay, if you know what this is, an Impala SS lower dash. It's got all the trim on it, all this side. The big important thing, watch me drop this right on camera and ruin it, is this part right here. Now if you notice, slightly different than the factory setup. Factory setup has the controls up top, radio on the bottom, din and a half size. This is from Sean at the details, 2 S's at the end.com. He just kind of started throwing these together, getting this like fully turnkey solution, we'll call it, going. So this is the big project that I'm talking about. I'm going to kind of chronicle this in like a 4 or 5 section video, from disassembly to reassembly to the whole thing. Now let me show you what I got from him originally before I'm going to put this down before I drop it. Alright, so this is the kit from the details. The main brain of this whole thing, or the main piece, this is the whole support system that goes behind the dash. Requires some cutting, which I'm going to show you how to do. A little bit of modding. The biggest holdback for me, though, wasn't this. It wasn't redoing the dash layout. it was when you got into this thing right here, a two-part epoxy. It was cutting up my factory lower dash, and then finally taking this piece here that he makes and getting this in and paint matched and everything. Now, I had some confidence in myself to take this and install it onto either my lower dash or another lower dash. But really, his new solution that he has here, and I've seen him advertising them on the forums and stuff, or on the Facebook group, totally awesome. First off, it's massive. You get a lot for when you pay for it. The other big thing he does here, he reinforces these tabs with some epoxy, so you're basically, you know, not going to snap those off or anything, which when I take off my lower dash, again, it's like the second or third time, I could run into a problem just breaking something, so we'll see how that goes. But the other thing he does here is, this is the coolest part. This whole black piece is fitted in there. It's matching. It's just amazing how it comes and you're just like, oh, it's done. It's just done. I don't have to paint. I don't have to texture paint, match, epoxy, anything. And it all just perfectly goes in there. So this was not cheap. This is not a cheap solution. He even like really doesn't even advertise the prices, is from what I can tell, just because it's kind of like, ugh, like sticker shock. But at the same time, if you're like me and you're not a plastics and interior specialist, like I don't know, just things to work. I like solutions to problems like this, where it's like, okay, somebody did the legwork where I don't have to fart around with this for 2 weeks trying to get it all lined up. So as I do this, follow along, but this is from thedetails.com. Get in touch with Sean over there. Tell him JT from Rubber City Motoring sent you over there and you wanted to talk prices and that sort of thing. But I mean, they take lower dashes, fully paint match them, everything like this. This one I believe was already gray, but I really don't know. Either way though, it's legit. Like, this is going to be so awesome in there. So next video will be disassembly. I know I'm rambling, but I'm so excited about this, and I'm still yet to decide on my radio, but that will be more to come on that. So this is probably like the most delicate piece of Impala part sitting in my garage right now, and I just need to get it installed before it breaks. Now, he does still sell these kits. This is just the trim piece that you fab into your dash, but like I said, I was prepared to do it, but at the same time I was very nervous about doing it. So this all-in-one solution, when he started throwing this out there, I was like, I gotta have this, because if I'm doing the double din conversion, I want it done right. I want it done where it's like just oof, easy. So that's coming. More on that. So as the weather gets nicer here, I will be driving this car. I will be reporting back some things. You know, I think a dyno tune's in its future. Fuel pump, obviously, like I said, but the biggest thing I'm doing now is this radio job here. Gonna start disassembling all of this, working towards that, this lower dash mess, if you want to call it that. So more to come. Thank you for watching. If you're not a subscriber already, check out the channel. There's been a lot on the engine build, different things like that, but gonna move into some, we'll say, I don't know, interior, just little things as I go along here. You know, like I said, the armrests and the different things, just touches to make it, like I've said in my original video, more just current, but at the same time, still fun to drive. So thank you for watching. See ya, rubbercitymotoring.com.